You like it?
That's fun. Am I looking in the right place? My eyes are correct. This eye looks funny. Okay.
You look so attractive.
Okay.
Beautiful. So we begin. Peter, I know you don't believe in the value of aging wine. Why
That's
is
true.
that?
The benefits of aging wine are far outweighed by the downside of aging wine, which is that they get too old. You open a wine that's too young, you drink it, you enjoy it, and you say to yourself, man, I would have liked to have tasted that wine with just a few more years of age. But you still enjoy the wine. When you open a wine that you've allowed to get too old, it's done. It's over. You can't drink it. You don't want to put it in the salad. You just essentially throw it away. It's wasted.
You cannot put it in even on salad.
I mean, you can, but you can buy cheap vinegar. You don't have to age it for 10, 25 years to finally add it to the salad.
I know you love salad. That's the reason why I asked about salad. And I remember you mentioned about aging and extended aging. What is the difference?
On release, the next 3 to 4 years, you have young wine. From 4 years onwards, 8 years, some moderate aging. 8 years up to around 15 years, I would call aged wine. And then after 15 years, venerable aging. This is a very broad category because, for example, class growth Bordeaux and very seriously made Barolo are young when other wines are already old.
So that's a rough criteria to let people know about aging, right?
Yes, that's true.
Is the term extended aging, is it only valid for good wine?
No, the difference is that for great class growth Bordeaux, 35 or 40 years is extended aging, but for Beaujolais Nouveau, maybe 3 years is extended aging.
Okay, so venerable aging is only for quality wine.
You open a wine that's 50 years old and it is just sublime, then you say that wine has venerable age.
Okay. I love the duration of sublime.
I have been fortunate in my life to drink some of the world's great wines perfectly aged.
Without me.
Well, I didn't know you then.
Is there any easy pointer to see a wine can be aged or not?
What was the intention of the winemaker? And you can taste that in the wine. Were the yields relatively low? And you can taste that by the compaction and the density of the fruit. The balance of the wine in terms of fruit, acidity, tannin. For a wine to age, it needs a good substrate of tannins, relatively high tannins. However, I'm not talking about coarse tannins, I'm talking about fine tannins. If you have all of those balance things in place, the wine can take a certain amount of bottle age.
Some people count a high alcohol percentage as an important factor.
For me, not.
No?
High alcohol preserves a wine, as does high acidity and as does high tannin. What I have tended to find with high alcohol wines, however, is that they start off as being very rich and can be described almost as porty, meaning they pick up some of the characteristics of wines like port wines, which have been fortified. Extended aging of those wines just accentuates the portiness. What I mean by aging wine, if I put wine in my cellar, I live in Southern California, it's expensive real estate. If I
live here too.
If I put wine in my cellar, it must pay rent. In other words, if I put a wine in my cellar that I paid $50 for, when I take that wine out of my cellar, 10 or 12 years from now, it needs to be, at least in tasting terms, worth double that or triple that. It's not enough for me that a wine won't spoil during that time.
Maybe you could buy very big cellar. Then you don't need to worry about it. Is there any important condition to age wine?
There are a few conditions that should be satisfied. Light is an enemy of wine. The cellar should be at the correct temperature. A temperature of middle 50s up to around 60 degrees is ideal. Then humidity. You require humidity 40 to 55%. A cellar should be still.
No vibration.
No vibration.
I have an experience that I bought a piano in France, and next to the piano I kept cases of wine, and I played the piano for a month, and all the wine got bad.
Really? What you need is piano lessons.